What if I told you Mercedes has just dropped an all-electric SUV that could shake up the luxury EV game? The 2026 GLC EQ. Sleek design, cutting-edge tech, and a range that promises to rival the big players. But here's the twist. BMW's iX3 has been holding its ground as the go-to choice for premium EV buyers. So is this new Mercedes the real deal, or just flashy marketing? By the end of this video, you'll know whether the GLC EQ is the smarter buy, or if BMW still owns the crown. Ready to find out? The 2026 Mercedes GLC EQ arrives as one of the most anticipated electric SUVs of the year. Positioned right between compact luxury and full-size utility, it's Mercedes' answer to the growing demand for premium EVs that don't compromise on style or practicality. For years, the GLC has been one of Mercedes' best-selling models, and now the EQ version is stepping in to carry that legacy into an all-electric future. Now let's dive into what really makes these two SUVs stand out. Because on paper, the 2026 Mercedes GLC EQ and the BMW iX3 might look like they're fighting in the same league, but their personalities couldn't be more different. First, the design. Slide over to the BMW iX3, and you'll notice a more conservative, almost classic BMW stance. The kidney grills are still here, although closed off for aerodynamics. And while the iX3 doesn't scream futuristic EV, it leans into familiarity, which might actually appeal to traditional BMW fans. Inside, the Mercedes takes the upper hand in terms of wow factor. You're greeted by the MBUX hyperscreen, stretching almost pillar to pillar, with AI-driven voice commands and customizable displays that feel straight out of a concept car. Add in sustainable materials, ambient lighting with 64 color options, and a whisper-quiet cabin, and it feels more like a luxury lounge on wheels. The BMW counters with its iDrive 8 system, which is intuitive and fast, paired with premium leather and a driver-focused layout. It's less flashy, but some buyers might prefer that clean, functional vibe over Mercedes' glitzy tech showpiece. Performance is where things get really interesting. The 2026 GLC EQ launches with dual-motor all-wheel drive, delivering around 400 horsepower and an estimated 0-60 time in the mid-4-second range. That's quick enough to rival many performance sedans, and Mercedes promises over 300 miles of range, thanks to its latest battery chemistry. The iX3, on the other hand, plays it safer, rear-wheel drive, about 280 horsepower and a 0-60 time, closer to 6.5 seconds. Its range, safety and convenience tech add another layer to this battle. The GLC EQ packs in semi-autonomous driving features, automatic lane changes, and adaptive cruise that learns your habits over time. It's practically a co-pilot. The iX3 doesn't fall behind, though. It brings BMW's proven driver assistance suite, including lane-keeping assist and adaptive cruise, but it stops short of Mercedes' futuristic self-learning systems. And then there's pricing, the part we can't ignore. Mercedes hasn't revealed final figures yet, but early estimates put the GLC EQ slightly above the iX3. That begs the question, are buyers willing to pay more for Mercedes' cutting-edge looks and features? Or will BMW's slightly more affordable and proven approach win the practical crowd? What's clear is that both SUVs target different mindsets. One is a bold leap into the EV future, the other a careful evolution of a trusted formula. And just when you think you've made up your mind, wait until you see the real-world driving impressions. That's where the story takes a surprising turn. And here's where things get really interesting. Because on paper, the Mercedes GLC EQ seemed to have all the right numbers. But when we finally took it out on the road, the experience was nothing short of eye-opening. The instant torque from the dual motors throws you back in your seat, with a surge of power that feels more like a performance coupe than a family SUV. It handles corners with a surprising lightness, and the silence of the cabin makes every acceleration feel almost surreal. In city driving, it glides with effortlessness, while on the highway, the adaptive systems step in to make long stretches nearly stress-free. For a brand new EV, now here's the twist. The BMW iX3, despite its lower horsepower and simpler setup, surprises in its own way. While it doesn't deliver the same jaw-dropping launch speed, it feels composed, predictable, and, dare I say, more natural behind the wheel. The steering feedback, the balance of the chassis, the way it hugs the road. It's classic BMW DNA adapted to electric power. And for some drivers, that might actually be more satisfying than the GLC EQ's raw punch. Range estimates tell one story, but real-world results shift the narrative. The GLC EQ held close to its promised 300 miles, even with spirited driving. The iX3, however, fell just short of its claimed figure, reminding us that efficiency isn't always the strong suit of BMW's current EV tech. So here we are. Mercedes delivers excitement, bold tech, and range confidence, while BMW counters with driving purity and a familiar comfort zone. It's the moment that forces you to ask, do you want the thrill of the future or the reassurance of tradition? And that brings us to the big question. Which one should you actually buy? Let's break it. So after putting both of these SUVs through their paces, where do we land? The 2026 Mercedes GLC EQ is, without question, a bold step into the future. It dazzles with its futuristic design, cutting-edge technology, and a driving experience that feels faster and more refined than you might expect from a family-sized electric SUV. For buyers who want to be ahead of the curve, to own something that screams innovation and status, the GLC EQ is hard to ignore. But here's the flip side. The BMW iX3 may not wow you with lightning acceleration or flashy screens, yet it delivers something just as valuable. Familiarity, balance, and the kind of driving feel that BMW has built its name on. If you're the type of driver who values confidence, comfort, and predictability over being on the bleeding edge of tech, the iX3 still makes a very compelling case. In terms of relevance for the US market, this battle couldn't be more timely. The demand for luxury EVs is skyrocketing, and Mercedes' willingness to push boundaries could shape what we expect from premium electric SUVs going forward. At the same time, BMW's measured approach may resonate with drivers hesitant to take a full leap into futuristic features. In a way, both strategies reflect the split personality of today's EV buyers, half eager for revolution, half craving reassurance. So what's the verdict? If you want